school, a place where we supposedly learn life lessons, make lifelong friends, and learn how to function in society. At least that's what they want to believe, but honestly, school is just a asylum filled with wild animals in their natural habitat forced to coexist every single day. A traumatic place that smells like despair, cheap deodorant, and acne cream. Hi, I am Lloyd, and today I am documenting my first experience with the unique Brazilian public school system. When I was younger, I went to a small private school. My class was always the same 12 kids, but that school only went up to the 5th grade, so I have to move. Since my younger sister was starting school too, my parents decided to push us both in public school because, well, private school tuition for 2 kids wasn't the budget. I grew up in a total bubble. My routine was homeschool church, homeschool church, homeschool church. My only contact with the real world was my older cousin. She was raised totally differently. Super liberal, public school her whole life, and she warned me.
Public school is a nightmare filled with evil men.
That left a strong impression on me. I cried so much when my parents told me I was going there. Between my cousin warnings and all those American movies where the new kids get their head stuffed in a toilet, I was convinced I was heading into a den of criminals who would beat me up and steal my lunch money. On my first day, everyone looked at me like I was an alien. Probably because I was a 6th grader using hair tie and a rolling backpack. For some reason, absolutely nobody used rolling backpacks there. I rushed to the front row, right next to the teacher. In my old school, people always fight for 2 seats, but here, the first 2 rows were a ghost town. Nobody wanted to be there. I looked at the back of the class and saw these massive guys who looked like they were 25 years. 2 of them were literally smoking paper. Yes, paper. One was snorting sachet juice, but the scariest part, the shaggy pants and just creepy peach fuzz mustache.
Ew!
Why on earth does a 6th grade have on stage? The school tried to do some ice break games with balls. I was in line when this random kid turned to me and said, in the highest bitter voice ever, "Hi." I panicked. I thought, this is it, my first friendship must be perfect. So I said, hi. A long, awkward silence followed until he blurted out, "You probably think I'm gay, right?" I was shocked, but honestly, look at him. It felt like the safest answer, so I just nodded my head, and somehow it worked. He kept talking to me even I thought I was totally a mess and terrified of the male species. At lunch, the food was free unlike my old school, but when I saw the food on the plates, I almost lost my appetite. Then the bell rang for the 15-minute break. It was pure chaos. People screaming like they were being murdered, kids running around, and people sweating left and right. But the real welcome gift was waiting for me back in the classroom. My perfectly organized desk, my cute pens, my expensive pencils, my fancy razor, yeah, gone. While I was out there having a panic attack, someone literally raided my desk. I came back to the wooden desert. I thought the classroom would be better, but people never ever showed up. The teachers just gave up and sat on their phones. I realized I needed a strategy. I needed 2 business persons, 1 popular girl so I wouldn't get bullied, and 1 buff girl to protect me. In exchange, I do their homework. It wasn't a friendship, it was a survival contract. Those first 2 weeks were just games and zero actual learning. It was the beginning of the nightmare that would last for years and years and years. And that's it. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thanks for watching. Bye!